Hello and welcome to the 2026 THEYFRIEND application workshop. My name is Seaman and I'm really excited to welcome you all um, to this session. Before we get started, Rawiyah, do you want to start us off with a land acknowledgement?
Yeah. I would like to acknowledge that even though we are meeting virtually, that Diamond Wave is located in Yimalu, and which is a traditional name for San Francisco, and on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. I would like to pay respects to the Ramaytush Ohlone elders, present and future, who have stewarded this land since time immemorial, and to whom this land will eventually be returned to. I would also like to acknowledge the continuous negative impacts that colonialism, genocide, missionary work, and systemic racism have on Native American and Indigenous communities worldwide.
Thank you, Rawiyah. I drop that into the chat and then we have, if anybody wants any additional resources, got some info about the On Our Native Land Guide, the Native Land website, and locally there is a movement here in Oakland to reestablish some Chochenyo Ohlone land with the Saugreate. But thank you. It's always great to start off acknowledging our indigenous, native, and just honoring the land that we're on. I am going to drop my formal bio to introduce myself into the chat, but informally, my name is Vince Seaman. I also go by LOL McPherson as a drag performer. I'm the founder of Diamond Wave and the THEYFRIEND Performing Arts Festival, and performer, artist advocate, technical assistance advocate, all sorts of other things. You can read more in that bio. Leah, what about you?
Hi, my name is Rawiyah. I am a advisor as part of Diamond Wave. I'm also a thought partner as part of Diamond Wave. I have had a lot of performance experience in the Bay Area. I'm going to drop my bio in here too. Um, but yeah, I do workshops, I do spoken word, I facilitate programming. So I'm on the stage and definitely do a lot of work behind the stage too. And I'm super excited to do that support for y'all this year. And we would also like to invite you, and I'm going to drop this into the chat too. Oh, been already on it. We'd like to meet you. We've introduced ourselves. We'd like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves. So, your names, your pronouns, where you're joining from, and what native land you're on, if you can look that up, and one sentence about your performance practice.
Ruby, do you want to model it for us?
I can model it. My name is Rawiyah Tariq. My pronouns are they, them, black woman, no space between black and woman. I am joining from Richmond, California, which is in Ohlone land. And one sentence about my practice, multi-undisciplined, spiritual ritualistic artist.
Yeah. Hugo, you want to go next?
Yes, I can't type on my phone because I'm just on my phone, so it would be here. Take me quite a long time to do that. I'm Hugo, also Aubrey. Um, I am joining from the Sanitus, which is on the Mutsun land, and I am a jack of trades, like to do a lot of different things over the years. Started off clowning, which led to some burlesque, which led to some drag, and it's been nice to explore gender through performance. Um, and I also facilitate and illustrate and do anything regarding the arts, and have enjoyed bringing people together through curiosity, in whatever way I can.
Hugo, that was a very long, extended sentence. And the grant writer in me is saying, I loved your use of commas.
I was trying to also remember the different criteria I was supposed to meet because I didn't remember everything I was supposed to say.
Thank you for sharing. Max, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Max Voltage, they, them pronouns. I live in Portland, Oregon, which is the lands of the Multnomah, Kathlamet, Clackamas, Cowlitz, Tualatin, Capuya, Molalla, and Chinook peoples. And I'm a non-binary queer playwright, violinist, songwriter, performing artist, video artist, and I've been producing grassroots events in Portland for 20 years now. After, yeah, I think that's enough sentence. Yeah. And then, okay, wait, I need a sentence about my performance practice. What does that mean? Sorry.
I think you covered
Did
that.
I
I was
cover
like,
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you got it.
Okay, great. Great, thanks, y'all.
Hinder, or is it to hinder? Is that how I pronounce
The
it?
gender.
The gender, apologies. Would you like to go next?
Sure, yeah. My pronouns are they, them. I'm in Oakland, Ohlone land, and I'm a modern contemporary dancer, poet, sound designer. Yeah.
Thank you and welcome.
Yeah, welcome all. Just so you know, too, to Ginger, because you weren't here earlier, we are recording this session to make available for folks online. So if you don't want to be recorded, please take your camera off and you can type in the chat for any questions. So, also the other thing I want to share is because we were recording, we're going to try to hold all of our questions until the end. So if you do have those questions that come up, add them to the chat. We'll add them to the log and we'll get to them when we get to the end. So we're going to go over a little bit of just information generally about THEYFRIEND, and I want to just start with why do we do this? And as non-binary folks, I'm sure y'all know that we have very few opportunities to come together within non-binary space. And so we're really looking to host THEYFRIEND to embody and uplift our perspectives, our needs, and our experiences as non-binary people. Also, if anybody knows any other non-binary focused nonprofits, initiatives, events that are going on, drop them into the chat. We're looking to expand other folks that are doing similar work. So let us know. I don't know if there's any other regular things that are happening that are just for non-binary people. That's essentially why we're doing this, is because we think that needs to be there. We want to create a gender full and a gender free container for non-binary folks of all ages, races, gender expressions, abilities, and creative mediums to find belonging and to share creative experiences. We want to deepen our understanding of non-binary identity and its intersections and help other people to understand that too. So we just want to breathe a sigh of relief that we're not going to get misgendered in space. Overall, THEYFRIEND was really the first thing we did was in 2020. We hosted a virtual salon as a part of a couple of regional conferences, and evolved it into a festival in 2021. And now we are somehow in our sixth year. Overall, we platformed about 250 non-binary artists and attracted over 2,500 audience members to different events that we've had through festivals. If you want to find out more about the THEYFRIEND festival in past years, you can go to our archive, which I'm going to drop into the chat as Rawiyah tells us more about this year's THEYFRIEND.
Yes, this year's THEYFRIEND. It's a time for us to utilize spectacle, connectivity, and radical joy to play, experiment, and reclaim parts of ourselves that traditional gender norms have forced us to suppress or eject. Performances will be interspersed at social events, and we're really looking to create a space that promotes cultural participation. This year's festival will emphasize participatory, interactive environments with our featured event, a non binary prom,
Woo, woo, woo!
accompanied by a community mixer and a series of workshops. While venues and the total number of performers are still being finalized, our underlying goals are to present high quality, interactive artistic experiences that showcase the creativity and diversity of non binary performers, and fostering welcoming spaces where non binary people and people of all gender expressions can connect, build belonging, and celebrate together.
Yes. This year specifically, we have 4 different roles that you can apply for. You can definitely apply for multiple roles. The form does allow you to select multiples, but because we're trying to maximize the different types of people that we can include in NAFRIEND, folks will most likely be selected for one role. The exception of that would be that hosts might also be asked to perform as part of the events that they are in. And Rowie and I will discuss and confirm that during the jurying process. We'll share back out when we share our decisions in August. First thing I want to tell you about is just performers. What are we looking for? We're looking for drag performances that get us to clap and to yell and to tip. We're looking for comedians that want to do crowd work or non-binary humor. I want dance that's asking audiences to transform into participants, or performers that are just ready to share their spark with others, to inspire folks and to create that belonging. All our performers will be paid $200. And this is to share like a 5 to 10 minute performance that celebrates non binary creativity, joy, self expression. In the past, these are things that either center non binary identity or literally any kind of content that you want to explore because you, as a non binary person, are not limited to just talking about non binary stuff. You can talk about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be non binary, non binary. You are a non binary person, so you embody that part. For performances, we want drag, we want dance, we want music, theater, comedy, spoken word, burlesque, circus, performance art, whatever. Also, we know that there are all sorts of different types of things. So, performance groups that are 2 or more people, we will discuss and try to see if we can get higher stipends available for groups of performers that are 2 or more. And that is a specific question in the application that you can check.
Hmm. We're also looking for hosts, DJs, and video artists that can create a welcoming space on the mic with their tunes and with dynamic graphics that could add to the overall experience. The host will be paid $400. Um, and the host is going to help us create, the host, the DJs, the video artists are going to help create a welcoming and engaging event experience by emceeing performances, introducing artists, guiding audiences through the program, and fostering connection about the through the event. That's what our host is doing. For our DJs, who are also going to be paid $400, curate a music set that centers queer joy, connection, and celebration. DJs help shape the energy of the festival events and may perform sets up to 3 hours long. Video artists are paid $100 to create or provide projected visual content that enhances performances and event spaces through motion, imagery, texture, color, and visual storytelling. We're going to tell you more about our specific events at a later point during this.
And then lastly, I want to talk about the workshop facilitators that we're looking for to help us learn and to grow. Workshop facilitators were able to pay $400, and this is to lead an interactive workshop that's exploring gender or creativity or a specific type of performance or self-expression or professional development or community building. Workshops are really about the content that you want to bring and share with other non-binary folks, and that can be at any of those intersections of those things, as long as it's really focused on learning, creating, connecting, or deepening understanding about ourselves or others. Do I think a little bit more about workshops later as well?
Mhm. And now we're going to talk about the timeline for the events. These are mostly mandatory deadlines for our production to stay on task. And we also have a few optional events as well that are going to be going down. So today we had the application workshop is today. Last week we had a karaoke at El Rio. That was awesome. That was fun. I wasn't able to make it out, but Vince said it was a
It was
good
a lot of fun.
turnout. And July 14th, which is an optional event, we're going to have the International Non-Binary Peoples Day meetup at Temesco Brewing in Oakland. I believe that link is going to be dropped into the chat. July 17th at midnight is your application deadline. If you are having trouble meeting the deadline, please contact us and let us know what's going on because we want to help you get in. August 21st, applicants will be notified of the decisions. And then you have about a week, August 27th, to get us your marketing and contracting is our marketing and contracting deadline, which means we'll need your picture, we'll need a bio, links, and completed contract and W-9 will be sent to you via DocuSign. On September 3rd, we have an optional artist orientation and social. It's going to be both in person and virtual. It's optional, but we recommend it because we all want to hang out. We want to form. This isn't just about the performance piece, it's also about fostering community. So we'd really love it if you can make it to that. October 22nd, we'll have an artist salon at Pacific Felt Factory in San Francisco. This is also optional, but we want you to come through and bring what you're performing at THEYFRIEND so we can share with each other. I've always loved that being a performer in the Bay Area, how we get together and look at each other's work and help each other grow and gas each other up. So that's optional, but again, it's one of those things that help us foster community. October 29th is our production deadline. We'll need your videos, your songs, lyrics, tech, and all the info about your specific performance. And then November 12th through 14th is the THEYFRIEND Festival itself. And then in December, we come back together for an evaluation meeting in person and virtual. And we want to know how Diamond Wave did. And we want to hang out. If you can't make it in person or online, we will need you to fill out an evaluation form, which we will send y'all.
We're trying to be super clear about all of this just so none of it comes as a surprise and it's all very clear for y'all. Next thing I want to go over is just eligibility. Pretty fairly simple here that you self-identify as non-binary. That should have a star next to it of non-binary umbrella that somewhere within that non-binary, gender non-conforming, gender queer, gender fuck, gender fluid. As long as you don't identify as just binary, we want you in. Also, we know that other folks identify as trans non-binary or cis non-binary. It doesn't, as long as you feel that you are somewhere in this non-binary family, you're welcome at THEYFRIEND. Also, folks need to be at least 18 years of age. There's some events that will be happening at bars, and so some folks might need to be 21 plus as well, but we'll check in with that during the curation process. You also are required to have an artistic practice based in or heavily influenced by performance, and be able to receive payments through a social security number, an employer identification number, or an ITIN, an individual taxpayer identification number. If there are any issues with payment, please contact me and we can try to work something else out. We don't want any of these requirements to be a barrier. They're more so just letting you know how we need to move through with you to get you paid. Also, just a note about geography, that while we welcome applications from everywhere in the US and everywhere throughout the world, we will give preference to San Francisco, Alameda, and Contra Costa counties, as some of our funding is restricted to there, as well as folks within the state of California, because we need some California-based funding. This usually ends up somewhere, I think, between like 75 to 85% of local and then statewide people. The other thing I want to mention is we welcome folks from other areas of the country or the other areas of the world, but unfortunately, we don't have the funds to help with travel stipends at this time. So flights and housing we're not able to do. In past years, we've offered a kind of space where people can offer or ask for housing, but we're not able to help people find that housing directly this year.
We're going to move on to our event types. So we're going to have, as mentioned before, our non-binary prom that's going to take place at Gray Area in San Francisco. It will be a ticketed event with a headlining artist. We're still confirming our headlining artist, and the host will be supporting our prom queen, QUING, competition. And Vin has dropped a Gray Area little venue map so you can see what it looks like in there.
Yeah. Um, Before we're doing the non-binary prom, we are going to be doing a social mixer at El Rio that I'm really excited about. This is going to be a free event for folks. And the host will be in charge of creating that welcoming space. And then we'll also have performances that will most likely, if you've been to El Rio before, it's a great neighborhood queer bar. They have a great back patio. And so we're hoping that whole performance and that mixer can be out on that back patio. And as an added bonus, that will most likely be on Thursday night, and folks can stay late for a partner group that we work with, Karaoke for non-binary, they them energy karaoke event, just like the one we hosted.
Mhm. And one of the things I'm super excited about is the workshops, which are going to be a ticketed event. You'll provide content and facilitate, and we will provide the venue and the ticketing. The venues will be set up to help center the collect selected content. So some things that we are like looking for, but not limited to. So if you have something you're like, I know I want to do, then pitch that to us. But some things we were thinking about was a creative workshop centering cathartic creative expression through interactive writing activities or panel discussions centering non-binary folk discussing hookups and misgendering. Uh, Again, if you have something else that you're like, I think we should have this, then please, please, please let us know and bring your ideas to us.
The other thing I want to mention is that we are still waiting for some funding to come in. So this is the base structure that we have for the festival that we're having a prom, we're having a mixer, we're having these workshops. We're hoping that we can get additional funds in, which might result in either an open mic that we have that would probably also have posts and a feature, as well as a possible other performance showcase. So that's the base. We're hoping to add a few more bells and whistles, but it really just depends on how funding comes in this year. With that, I want to start going to the actual application itself just to get you ready to go through this. And there's one resource that I want to share with you that I'm going to add in the chat right now, which is an application template. One thing that I hate as an applicant is when I can't see all of the questions until I go to actually apply. And that's what we're looking to avoid. So all of the application questions are in the guidelines document, which are on our website and a lot of other places. And the other thing that I'm sharing in the chat there is our application template that you're able to create a copy or to download for yourself so that you can use this as a Word document to hold on a second. I'm trying to share screen at the same time so I can just take you through this. Um, Here we go. This one. There we go. So I just wanted to share this so you can see this is the application template that you can create a copy and save to Google Docs or download on your own. It has all the questions so you can formulate all your answers here. And just want to make sure that y'all know that this tool is available to you. That you can see all of these questions and everything that's in there. I am not going to sign in. Um, but that is there. And next, Rawiyah, will you just start taking us through the application?
Yeah. So first we're going to ask for your personal contact information. So what's your email? What's your performer name? If you're in a group, list your group name there. What's your first and last name, if different from your performer name? And this is important. If you're applying as a group, please list the first and last name of the primary contact for your group. What if your pronouns? If you're applying as a group, please list the pronouns of the primary contact for your group. If applying as a collaborator group, please list the names and pronouns of your additional collaborators. I'm going to ask for your phone number, what your street address is, city and town, state, and zip code.
Great. And I'm going to keep this going through. I'm taking you through in the application form, which I've preloaded just so that it's easy to look through and see what everything looks like. In the next section, we're going to ask you just some information about your work as a non-binary performer. For here, I don't need to know that you make zines and you have a computer science degree and XYZ. I want to know about the work that you want to bring to TheyFriend. Really center this area on what you want us to review and what you'd like to be considered for TheyFriend. So in the previous thing, I put my drag persona, and so here an easy way I can say that is I create campy drag and stand-up comedy. This is a really simple. How would you describe yourself as an artist and what your practice is? As such, I'm selecting comedy and drag performance. There's a lot of other stuff I do, but I don't want to do that at TheyFriend. I want to do drag and stand-up comedy. That's what I want to do. Some maybe combination of that. I've added my bio in here. If you haven't written a bio before, you're looking for some help, we've linked a really great article on the forum that's also available in the guidelines and the template. So you can get some help in creating that for you. If you haven't done a bunch of stuff, just tell us about who you are and the communities that you reside in, how you like to move through them, and what it is that we should know about you as a performer. Also, this is a question where we ask about the larger stipend for a group. And another thing is that if you're not able to be a performer, if we're not able to select you, we'd love to include you in a different way. And so let us know if you would like to be interested in volunteering with us. And then just anything else you'd like us to know. I like those open fields because sometimes you're like, I got to tell you other stuff, but I can't put it anywhere. So you've got that open field.
Mm-hmm. Just want to let Shane, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that correctly, incorrectly, but we're going to answer all questions at the end after we go through the application. Okay, cool. Thank you. I just didn't want you to think that we were ignoring you or anything like that. So the festival role. In this section, we'll ask you questions about participating in TheyFriend 2026 Festival, happening November 12th through 14th. Bay Area and virtually. So, for what festival role would you like to be considered? You're going to select those roles and please select all that apply. Performer, host, workshop facilitator, DJ, video artist. If you only have one, select one, but there's an option for you to select as many as you feel like you would like to be considered for.
Great. Moving along, I'm going to take us to the narrative instructions. In the template and in the guidelines, this is repeated a lot, but basically you have the option to either write things out or you can tell us in a video. So I'm just going to talk through these questions and just read them out loud. The first one is, what does non-binary gender identity mean to you? We center non-binary experience, stories, and ways of being. So please share how non-binary identity shows up in your life, creative practice, community involvement, understanding of yourself. There is no right answer. We are interested in your personal relationship to non-binary identity and what it means to you.
The next question is, why do you want to be a part of TheyFriend? What draws you to this festival at this moment in your life or artistic journey? How do you typically engage with community collaboration or collective creative spaces? We're especially interested in artists who are excited to contribute, not only to the festival itself, but also to the relationships, learning opportunities, and community building experiences that surround it.
And then the last question we ask is, we just want to know, describe the performance that you would like to bring for TheyFriend. So tell us about the specific performance, project, or experience that you hope to present at TheyFriend. If you have a specific workshop that you've already cooked up that you want to bring, let us know. If you have a specific performance, like this would be perfect, let us know what that specific performance is. How does that work connect to the festival vision that's shared by Rawiyah and myself? And if your work sample reflects the proposed performance, perhaps you're a drag performer and you're like, I want to do a number, but I haven't done it before. But you can tell us how the new work would either relate to work that you've done before or how it differs. We just want to know specifically what you're looking to bring and how it compares to some of the work samples that you're sharing with us if it's something new that you want to try and experiment with. All of these are 150 words. We don't have a hard cut in the form, but please know that we may actually edit down to 150 words for all of these responses when they're reviewed to keep things fair to all of the applicants. And the other thing I want y'all to know is that, again, you have two options for the format, and I just wanted to show you that mechanism within the form. But if you want to do the written response, you have three different areas to write those 150 words. However, if you want to do a video recording, don't do three separate videos, just do it in one video, it's fine. Edit together if you want. But we just have one area that you can upload that link, and that can either be to an audio recording, that can also be to a video recording, it could be a link to Google Drive where you have something stored, or it could be a public video or audio sharing website. Okay, great.
Yeah. We welcome applicants. Oh, am I good?
I think I just went through that, Rawiyah. I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
went through that? Okay, that's fine. That's
You take the next
fine.
one.
Supporting links. And
Yeah, let's
now.
go there now.
Okay. Please provide 1 to 3 work samples that help us understand what you'd like to contribute to this year's Day Friend. Samples should be recent, created, or presented within the last 2 years, and relevant to the role for which you are applying. Applying as a performer, share a performance sample. Applying as a DJ, share a DJ mix or live set. Applying as a host or facilitator, share a sample of your hosting, facilitation, or public speaking. Applying as a video artist, share examples of your video work. Video is strongly preferred whenever possible. Unedited footage that allows us to see your work in action. If a video is not available, you may submit audio, images, written materials, or other relevant documentation. If submitting a video, the total combined viewing time for all the samples together should not exceed 5 minutes. Please make sure that every link you submit is publicly viewable and provide timestamps in the context section. So we're not going to be like, oh, you have to send us this edited, cut down version of it, because sometimes everybody can't do that. You can just let us know to please watch like 30 seconds to 145, etc., things like that. If linking to a portfolio or a general web page, please direct us to a specific work you would like us to review. If you have questions, I'm going to drop the email into the chat. You can message Vin at diamondwave.org and we will get a response back to you.
The other thing I want to let y'all know here is we're not hard and fast and we're only going to spend this much time on it, and or that we're going to be extremely strict. We want to get y'all's applications in and we want to help you do it. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to us and we're happy to provide application support to get those applications in. Again, just really making sure that whatever link you're giving should relate to the work that you're applying for. And then for the context, just let us know what it specifically is and how it relates to the work that you want to present at THEYFRIEND. I think that's it for those parts. And then I'm just going to go to the last thing, which is to ask about demographic information. Every one of these questions is optional, so you do not need to fill this out. But it is super helpful for us for having a better understanding of who is applying, where y'all are at, and what issues that y'all are dealing with in terms of identity and what you're navigating. This really helps us for funders to get a better sense of who is in our audience. The other thing I want to mention to you is that some questions like race, ethnicity, sexuality, gender are asked twice. We provide an open field so you can tell us exactly how you identify. And then we also have a limited list of different areas as well. So just wanted to go through that. I thought I just answered this. Why am I answering this again? Because our gender is not limited to just these options. We know that as expansive, gender expansive people. And so we really wanted to give you two options to describe who you were specifically, and then within these limited lists. I think that is it in terms of the application itself. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing screen. And Rawiyah, is there anything else that you wanted to mention in terms of what we were presenting before we switch it over to questions?
I don't think I have anything more to add except to just say that thank you for showing up for this. And anybody watching this after in the recording, thank you for showing up. Thank you for contributing. Your being out into the world allows other people to see us. I do believe in visibility as activism. So being able to share yourself and your art with us is a joy and like so much gratitude because They Friend exists for people like us and wouldn't exist without people like us. So all the gratitude, all the love, all the joy. What about you, Vin?
Um, no, I think that's it for me, but I do want to go to a couple of questions that have come up, including your Shane. The first one that we have already received is that folks ask if they can apply to multiple roles, and Rawiyah and I just tried to make sure this is very clear that yes, you can. You'll most likely be selected for one. Hosts might be asked to perform as well. I would say um, gear your application to the thing that you want to do most, knowing that life is long and we want you to come back and get involved in other ways, but that this is the opportunity that we have now. I always think as a grant writer, I tell people go for the thing that you really want and make that case rather than hedging your bet and showing us the breadth of your work. Show us why you're perfect for a workshop facilitator. Show us why you need to be one of our hosts at Non-Binary Prom. And really stick the application to what you want, but then also you can create those other factors for the other things as well that you're a host, performer, workshop facilitator. Those feel like they could go together. Where I would say I might have more trouble understanding if you're applying to be a host, a DJ, and actually, you know what? Everybody's performance is different, so I don't want to say this is how it should look or what I expect. But that really, I would say, try to only apply for three roles, knowing that those links need to relate to those different roles. And it's hard to see a DJ set, your video work, your facilitation, and your performance, and your hosting all in one application. So that can be difficult. The other question, Shane, that you had just added in is, can name be chosen name or should it be legal name? Put your chosen name on stuff. When we move forward with folks for legal documentation, we will need legal names later on, but that can come at a later date. I want you to have, or we want you to have your most, we don't want you to be triggered by government name on this application when we don't know what's happening yet. So feel free to give us your chosen name in the application. And later on, when we get to legal stuff, we will let you know when we need that. Ruby, do you want to ask about the next one?
The next question is, does the festival include virtual performance spaces or is the focus in person? I
As of,
believe, go ahead,
go ahead,
Vin.
yeah. No, I want you to answer it.
Our focus is going to be in person, for this year. Like with our prom and our mixers and things like that that we want to have is all in person. But one area I do see, and this is just me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do see us having definitely space for the people who produce video portions of it to like be able to create those visuals and send those in. But for the most part, our focus is going to be in person. Is that correct, Vin? I want to make sure that
That
I'm being
is, but
correct.
also I'm 99% sure we'll have at least one virtual workshop. And right now we are planning to have virtual workshops. We're not planning to have a virtual performance. We have done video performances in the past. We're currently not planning for that. So I would say for virtual participation, workshop facilitator is probably best, as that will be the most likely area that will expand out virtual programming. Um, yes, leave it at that.
Anybody has any other questions? Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
Eva.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. So, if I was applying for a performer and as a workshop facilitator, would you like those to be submitted in two separate applications, just so then it doesn't like the information is kind of organized for you guys, or is it okay to group together?
Yeah, I would say for performer and workshop facilitator, I think both it's fine for that to be one application. Mark that you want both of those. And then the links, we very clearly want to be able to see the performer and the performance and what you do. And then being able to see how that translates to the workshop will really help us. And so in that way, I would expect to see, an unedited performance of you, or maybe two, or we have two samples about your workshop. Maybe you give us some slides, and then you hosted this, and you have some video of you doing it, or something, or some combination of that. To me, I really want to see what you're hoping to bring and being able to relate what you're writing about to the samples and how it directly correlates to what you want to bring to the festival. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't that if I put it all together in one place, it wouldn't be too confusing or anything. Make sure that it's
We
not too much information.
are we are very multifaceted people as non-binary people, so we will take that information in and do with it what we can.
Great, thanks. Oh, and then I did have another question. I don't know if other folks would be in this position, but I heard you mention that there may be limitations based on budget. Um, my excitement for getting involved is more about the community aspect and the opportunity to contribute and connect with people this way. If if you are in a position where you can donate back your stipend, so then more people can get involved, is that an option on the
We
application?
will absolutely make it an option for folks. I don't think it's right now, but I feel like yeah, for folks that we are able to move forward with, thank you. And I think that is a great option for just helping the movement move along, as they're not wanting to give us a lot of money right now because if they were radical gender terrorists. And I'm like, well, we're not that, but
Wonderful. Thank you.
I have a question. Where is it, and what is the performance stage setup like and made out of?
oh sure. I think that you came in a little bit before then, where we talked about the shows. Let me just go back up and review that. So the main two events that we're going to be doing is our non-binary prom that will be happening at the Gray Area Foundation for the Arts. It's on Mission Street between 22nd and 23rd. I put a link to their venue rental in the chat so you can see what that stage will look like. That will be a very big stage. We will have a wheelchair ramp up to that stage, and it will be a space that we're really looking to be that prom environment with performances that are popping up. And then the other event that we are that will be the other component is the social mixer at El Rio, and that will be on the outside patio stage there. So those are the main two stages we have. And then there's possibility for us to have a couple of other performance events, which are really limited to if we get additional funding in. Before we send out notifications in August, we'll make those decisions before that happens. And then we'll communicate about those stages at that time. Does that give you the information that you were looking for, Ginger?
Oh, so is the prom part of the festival in November? Okay, but
Correct.
it's not the whole, it's just one component of it.
Correct. So yeah, so right now we are doing the non-binary prom is really the main thing. There will be a headliner for that, and then we're looking for hosts, DJs, and video artists, as well as performers that will do performances during that prom. And then we are also hosting the social mixer at El Rio, where performances will happen throughout the evening.
Okay. So those are 2 days. Is there a third day of the festival?
There is. So we're still figuring out if we're going to be doing additional open mics or additional performance showcases that will be more traditional show formats. But the other thing that we're definitely doing is workshops that will happen throughout those days as well. Those aren't confirmed yet, but I can tell you one will most likely be here at Pacific Felt Factory. Rawiyah, can you drop a link to Pacific Felt? I think it's just
Yep,
pacificfeltfactory.com.
I'll look it up.
But we have space here, so one will most likely be here for workshops. We also partner with a lot of different organizations and will most likely host a workshop at the Transgender District offices. There's one that might happen at San Francisco Public Library, the main branch. Those will be developed really at figuring out what is the content of that workshop and what's the best space for those to be in for those workshop events.
So for the so all the performances will be at the prom, you said?
The prom or at the social mixer at this point. And again, we're hoping to have additional performances at an open mic and or another performance showcase. We're really gearing this year's festival towards interaction and trying to dissolve that line between these are the performers and this is the audience, where it's like, let's all be both.
Do you know, are any of the, like, can you tell me, like, how big are the stages? Are they raised? Are they made of marley?
Yeah, so I know that the Great Area stage will be raised. I doubt there will be Marley on that floor. And then the El Rio one will be an outdoor performance, and that is a wood patio on their back patio.
Okay, thank
Um,
you.
that said, of like, if knowing that I'm like, I feel like the festival doesn't best showcase a dance performance. However, that could maybe translate well into a workshop that we could have a space with the Marley floor. And if you have specific needs for a performance, that's a great thing to add into like the anything else you want us to know of like, I'm not going to wreck my knees for you. I need a Marley floor and I need a sprung floor, and that's things that I need to be able to perform. We also ask about accessibility needs and the demographic info. So if there's anything specifically that you need to support your participation, please let us know. Does that answer the
Thank you.
question?
Yes, thanks.
Awesome.
All right, Max, you have a question. Looks like your hand was raised.
Yeah, I'm curious a little bit more about what type of video y'all are interested in, and if there's any like parameters around that in terms of, are you looking more for sort of abstract visual art that's going to be like the set and the vibe, or are you looking more like a music video that's, part of the show, or
Hmm.
are there lengths of videos? Just more info would be really helpful.
Yeah, I think it's really the first that you were describing, Rubia. That's what you're thinking too, more of like setting the tone, the vibe, the feel.
Mm-hmm.
The gray area space that we're having prom in has amazing projection capabilities. And we're really wanting video artists that can help to bring in whatever graphics, textures, lights, feels. So it is more ambient, it is more atmospheric, and it is less storytelling, where mostly these videos will not have sound attached to it because our DJs will be playing. So in past years, we have wanted video that was specifically a video performance. This year, we're looking for more atmospheric video. Great question, and let me know if there's any other timing you asked for too. I would say timing. We will most. I'm imagining how it will end up being in this space that we would probably not want to overwhelm people with rapidly changing videos, but we still want things to be fresh and exciting. I think it would depend on the ultimate cut. I imagine it would be probably like 1 to 3 minutes of things that cycle through different videos that are a part of that, or they're somehow blended together as well. So that's how I've been imagining the end result of it as part of the non-binary prom event.
Great, thanks.
Hugo?
Um, yeah, so I was wondering if you were also maybe looking for um, additions to the prom or social mixer. So the things that I have to offer, one, I guess, example is I do like a pop-up portrait studio where people can model or be the artist. So like something like that at a prom, which is often like in a corner of a party that is happening or a festival rather than a workshop by itself. So I'm curious whether you guys are also looking for additional interactivity elements at those events.
Rubia, what do you think?
I always want the moon. So I'm like, always like, yeah, like if I have my way, we would have something like that. We'd have somebody doing the art. We'd have somebody like recording in a booth who's like taking the stories of non-binary people. Um, so yeah, like for me, I would love to see something like that, but we also have to work with our own numbers and the space and see what's possible for us. But off the top of my head, I would love to see something like that there. What about you, Vin?
I agree with you. I feel like the reason that we've focused They Friend on performance is because we didn't have the capability to center all artistic mediums. That said, we are people that live on the edge and in between. And we welcome those experiences too, of like push our understanding of what we're asking for and convince us that we need this thing. Um, where I feel really excited about these responsive processes because it's like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that, but that would be really awesome addition to one of these types of events.
Oh, great. Well, it sounds like it might be possible to throw out some ideas and maybe there could be some dialogue. And if it's a fit, we can figure out the best fit for the event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Please put it in the section where there's like, is there anything more we need to know, you would like us to know? Use that section for that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, thanks.
I need to jump, but I appreciate you walking through this application. I look forward to the event. Thank you, Shane. Thank you for being here with us. Have a good rest of your day or evening, whatever it is now. It's evening. Time.
What is time? What is time? Hugo and Max, I think y'all are here still. Do you have any more questions for us at all? I'm
Okay.
sorry, Hugo into Ginger, apologies.
No,
Okay.
all good.
Looks like we're good then.
Okay, great. We'll hang out here a little bit longer just in case anything else pops up for you. But please do visit our website. There's the template, there is the guidelines and the application questions. We will be taking this video and putting this up on our website as well in case you have any other questions. You can also reach out to Rawiyah and I. I'm Vin at diamond-wave.org. Rawiyah is Rawiyah at diamond-wave.org. And we hope that we can help you get these applications in. We also hope that you'll join us on July 14th. We're going to be at Temescal Brewing for a no agenda meetup hangout. We just want to create more non-binary space, more non-binary connectivity. So come hang out and have a sip or a bite of something with us.